Sorry about that. Okay. Sorry. Just sorry about that. Okay. Sorry. This should work. Just sorry about that. Okay. Sorry. This should work. Just sorry about that. Okay. Sorry. This should work. Just sorry about that. Okay. Sorry. Here. This should work. Just wait. Sorry about that. Okay. Fine. Sorry. I made the video. I made the streaming. I saw it was down. Sorry about that. Okay. Fine. Sorry. I made the video. Type something in the streaming. I saw it was down. Sorry about that. Okay. Fine. Sorry. I made the video. Type something in the streaming. I saw it was down. Sorry about that. Okay. Fine. Sorry. Okay. Sorry. I made the video. Type something in the streaming. I saw it was streaming, but it wasn't. Sorry. Okay. Sorry. I made the video. Type something in the streaming. I saw it was streaming, but it's annoying as how to shut it down? Go here, speaker, whatever. Not okay. I hope it's going working. So I'm gonna talk about the 4 worst versions of Windows, right? We know the 4 which 4 are they, but I would like to point it out, my opinion, which one with the ranking of them. Now the number 4 is the Windows 8 and Windows 8.1.1. I think Windows 8 and Windows 8, sure, it's bad, it's terrible. I'm not defending Windows 8 at any point, but I want to say Windows 8 is, I give it a 50 point to 100. If total score is 100, I give it 50. So now first we look for the bad part, right? Just no star menu, right? No star menu. And just yeah. Just give you a start screen crap, and your desktop is an app. It's complete an app, right? So its experience is terrible, and even with the screen, it's even hard to shut down operating system. You don't know where to shut it up. Shut down machine becomes very hard in Windows 8. The shutting down machine, you do something like this. You go here, it'll give you a sidebar, and you click here, then you shut it down. So you go do something like that. Who would put shutdown menu here? The sidebar, right? Oh, okay, that experience was terrible. So shutting down, shut down the machine is a weird experience. Thirdly, the full screen Metro, right? Metro. If you look at what initial of Windows 8 was that all your Metro app was in full screen. You don't know how to shut it down. There's no way to shut it down. You cannot resize it. You cannot do a lot to that. So it's a quite weird experience with the Metro, the full screen Metro. It was a mistake, right? It should be worse because it's not right now. And finally, since they removed Start menu, it relies too much on shortkeys. Even today, I do something like this. Okay, do something like this. Control plus R to do something, because on Windows 8, it relies too much on shortcuts. It's even hard to find out where the ROM is. I guess it's still hard to find in ROM on Windows 10. But on Windows 10, you have this type here to search feature. You have Cortana, you have the search feature that can replace ROM. But on Windows 8, what you're doing is just complete Windows R, CMD. You do something like this. So it's a ridiculous experience, right? Anyone here in the chat? Okay, just type something. I just feel, is my streaming fails again? Is it working right now? Type something in the chat, dude. So, you're here. So, And from market perspective, the Windows 8 was a consumer-based operating system. Consumer-based operating system. Microsoft has said nothing about business users. They don't care about business users, right? But we know business users are the largest part of the reason the market share for Microsoft, for all the revenues for Windows, right? But Microsoft is a consumer-based operating system. It's a weird market orientation. They care a lot about mobile devices, as they should, but they don't care anything about business users, right? That's what literally Microsoft did. So back in that period, back in that time, the companies finally upgrade from Windows XP to 7 by a huge amount of resources, right? There was no reason to upgrade again. Just no reason, right? You don't need the business just doesn't care about Metro. They don't need that feature, right? And they have already took the resources. Then why bother upgrading it to Windows 8? So Windows 8 is bad, right? They also removed the error, which is another criticism. But in general, it's a weird experience. But the reason I don't give it a very low score is that I think that I use Windows 8 a lot. I was using Windows 8 a lot. And I think Windows 8 is still some good features here. It's not as bad. It's a bad operating system for sure. It's a terrible operating system, but it wasn't as bad as other worst operating Windows versions. So the first point is that the performance is relatively good. If you look at the benchmark, it's better than Windows 7. It's been better than Windows 10. So the performance is relatively good. And it does have a reason to exist, right? Because mobile devices, Microsoft was facing the fierce competition from Android, right? From Android and iOS, they need something to compete with them in the mobile markets, right? For tablets, for phones, although they failed in phones, but the tablet was very successful. So it plays a good reason for, it does have a market demand for a tablet-based operating system. Although it's implemented poorly, but it has a reason to exist, right? So SkyDrive. Okay, SkyDrive, later renamed as OneDrive today. So SkyDrive integration is very important. Although some people argue the privacy issues with SkyDrive, OneDrive thing, and whatever. The OneDrive. So there's a reason I didn't downgrade to Windows 7 back in Windows 8 was because I have a SkyDrive, right? I need the SkyDrive integration. I need to put some files on the SkyDrive, right? So it's an important feature. I don't want to just put some of my files on this machine and cannot share it at another machine. That would be a disaster, right? Just sharing files are huge issues. So Windows, the OneDrive integration is very good. Okay, the largest reason I didn't downgrade it was because of OneDrive. So with the Windows Defender integration, so Windows Defender since Windows 8 was just a basic feature in Windows 8, right? Before Windows 8, you have the issues with malwares. You need to install antivirus software. You need to pay them money. Now you don't, right? You just install Windows 8. They give you the Windows Defender, and you're done, right? So this is a good integration. So this is a good part of Windows 8, and they have the light mode, right? The light mode, right? It should not be good. It should be bad features because the privacy issues clearly not good. So Windows Defender integration, right? With the night light mode. So today we have the light mode was introduced in Windows 8.1 and Windows 8 period. So is another very good features. It's cool. It's very good feature. So that light mode was definitely good features Windows 8 and Windows 8.1. So also from market share perspective, Windows 8 wasn't that successful. It did bring a lot of good features, and they do have very good thought. And That's, I think Windows 8 and Windows 10, I'm not going to give the worst one. I think it's the least, the fourth worst one. It's not as bad as the other one, but it's still bad. Okay. Now the third one is Windows Vista. Now look at the score. It drops from 50 to 15. Right? So the pop-up, right? Windows Vista. I know that some people are talking about error, but why do you need that? So the pop-up, right? The user can't control the pop-up of UAC is a huge issue. It just keep pop up. And the second, the development cycle was too long. Okay, the development cycle was too long. They were initially designed for the Longhorn, the prototype of Windows Vista in 2004. But finally it delays to Windows 2007, which leaves a huge amount of period where there's no upgrade for Windows, and people just skip to XP. So the development cycle was too long, right? Even it wasn't originally designed to say we're gonna take six years to have this new operating system. They never designed for that. So the development cycle was too long. It out of schedule. And Longhorn, the beta version of Longhorn was better than Vista. If you think its UI was good, the Longhorn was actually better than Vista. Right? The Longhorn is beta version, okay? Longhorn was better than Vista. So they cut down the ideas of Longhorn that give you the crap which is Vista. Literally what Microsoft did. So it's not polished, it's not fully polished out, it's just a rushed version. Since they are out of schedule, that's my feeling about that operating system. Even Longhorn still looks very good. It's probably much better than other versions of Windows, even today's versions. I'm not saying we want. So Longhorn was better than Vista, but they finally cut it on. They just give you Vista, which is not good. Error. Right. Some people love error, but error in general is a complete waste of resources, right? You don't see that in Windows XP. You don't see that in Windows 10. And you don't see that in Windows 8. So error was a complete waste of resources, and one major reason why Windows Vista was not running on the machine that period, plus drivers, whatever. Just error is a complete waste of resources. So that's why I'm giving Windows Vista a 15 points. It's bad. It's just terrible. Is this still working? Is this still working? Okay, so what is working right now? So the second one is Windows Me. Right. The only good part of Windows Me is restoration. So it runs on 9X, but it's very bad, right? It's running on 9X kernel, but there's no real mode DOS, right? You don't have real mode DOS. It's 9X kernel, but the real mode DOS. It's kind of weird, right? You're running DOS in the kernel, but you don't give people the option to use DOS. So the blue screen, right? Just blue screen. You can't even boot the machine either. Like it's crap. It's complete crap. And it was released after Windows 2000 and before Windows XP. So it's quite weird. Why do you need that, right? It was released after Windows 2000 and before Windows XP. And both of them are NT kernel, plus Windows 2000 was very successful in that period. People just use Windows 2000. Why do you need Windows Me? Okay, it makes no sense. So it's a bad operating system. So we give it 10. It's just as bad as Vista, but if I have to give them 1 or 2, I'll give it 10. So Windows Me is the second worst one. So you know which one is the worst, right? Anyone still here? Nobody's here. Okay. Yeah, it's this guy. It's Windows 11. I really, really, really hate Windows 11. Sorry. Windows 11 is the worst operating system. Worst. Sorry to say that. Worst. Right? One. I even want to give it a 0, to be honest. But I guess giving a 0 is not a valid answer. So give it a 1. Give you a lowest point. I think it's just completely disaster, right? So first, Windows 10's Windows service. When Windows 10 was Windows service, it will give you patches. The strategy of the market strategy works. It saves resources. It just keep upgrading it, and we don't need these big updates. We're just giving patches, right? Patches, and we can have a gradual move on to new things. But they're not doing that. They're saying we just give you a new operating system right now. The Windows service strategy just fails, right? But the actual Windows 10's Windows service strategy works, and people love it, right? People just upgrade it, install Windows 10, use it forever, right? So there's no reason for a new operating system. There's no improvement hardware, nothing, right? Just nothing has a demand for Windows 11. There's no market demand for Windows 11. It's not even like Windows 8. Windows 8, you need demand for mobile. It's not like Vista. Vista, you need demand for 64-bit machines. You don't have any reason to use Windows 11. It doesn't run better. It has nothing. It has no reason to use. You have no reason to use Windows 11. And the changes to UI really suck. It's even worse than Windows 8. The changes to UI, right? Some people are telling me they cannot find out where the command prompt is located. You can't even find on that. They just give you, hey, you just use Windows Terminal. We don't give you the solution for CMD anymore. You just use for the new freaking Windows Terminal. So, and they put a start menu here. Some people love to put start menu in the left side, but you're not allowed to do that. You have to put the start menu here, the start button here, and the start button isn't as feature as Windows 10's feature, right? The Windows 10's start menu. So the change to start menu is a total crap, and it's just horrible. And plus also the other issues, the right click button. It's even hard to click something here, right? Because they put a circle here, right? Put round here, right? They don't put a rectangle here, they put it round here. It's not even look as good as the Longhorn or Windows Vista or Windows 7, right? It just doesn't look good. It doesn't look any good, just you don't have a reason to use it. So nobody is using it. Nobody around me use Windows 11, and Windows 11 is just a terrible operating system. So third is, of course, forced to TPM 2.0, right? Forced you to run TPM 2.0 for no reason, right? Just, hey, you must use TPM 2.0. No reason. I'm sorry to say that. No reason. You don't need TPM 2.0, okay? Fourth, it has a terrible launch, The launcher is terrible. They're just screwing up AMD Ryzen CPUs. How do you release a new operating system by screwing AMD CPUs? They're saying it's AMD's fault. No, it's your fault, right? It's your software. AMD doesn't control the source code. Some people have the conspiracy theory to say it was Intel's developers who deliberately trying to screw up Ryzen CPUs. I doubt it. I just think whatever reason, it's a terrible launch. And Windows 11 was released in a chip crisis. Another reason, a problem. There's no demand for Windows 11. Now they're saying we're going to release in a chip crisis. They want to just making a lot of hardware being completely obsolete, which is ridiculous, right? It's completely ridiculous. It's a complete nightmare. And the sixth is WSL. I think they go too far with WSL, particularly in Windows 11. They have saying we have GUI version Windows 12 of WSL. Why do you need that? If I want WSL, I can use a virtual machine. I can install two operating system, right? Dual booting operating system. Why do I need WSL2 for GUI experience? I don't see any reason for doing that, right? So, and the WSL is just running both Windows and the Linux in the virtual machine. The Linux kernel they provide, the Microsoft provides, is often very old. It's hard to even upgrade kernel. If the kernel have issues, you have no way to fix the kernel, and the GUI is not a huge problem, right? How do you make that work? It's just not good. It has to screw up some Windows no typical experience. So it just have no reason for WSL2. People want to use that, use VirtualBox. They don't need WSL. Okay, WSL is a terrible feature. Okay, now I must say I want to cross-compile. I want to compile Linux programs on Windows. What you need is a cross-compiler, not running WSL. You need cross-compiler, dude. You need something like this, right? You need something like this. You don't need WSL, right? If you want to use Linux, just install Linux. Don't put this cross-pollinations here. It has no reason. The 7 is the Android integration. The Android integration, still, why? If I want that, I use Android emulator, right? Why do I need? Why need that integration? I guess a lot of people. I have 3 phones, right? I have 3 Android. If I want that, I just use phones. Why do I need Windows 11 to run things? It's just a weird experience. I don't think anyone really need that feature. So, some people say it's cool. No, it has no reason to exist. If I want that, I'll just run Android emulator. Tell me why your Android integration is better than emulator. I don't know. So, Microsoft basically saying Windows 12 is going to release in 2024, which means they have already admitted Windows 11 is a failure. It's a complete failure. Even from market share perspective, it has fewer market share on Windows 8, fewer market share on Windows XP, and fewer market share even on Windows Vista. It's that bad in Windows 11. So, Windows. If you're using Windows 11, you are a loser, dude. If you're using Windows 11 to watch this video, you are a loser. Okay, don't use it. Windows 11 is yours. Okay, it's even worse than Windows Me, Windows Vista, and Windows 8. I'm sorry to say that. So Windows. That's about the streaming. I'm sorry. I streamed it once, but I didn't realize that streaming was failed. I didn't start streaming. I restarted my machine, whatever. I just completely blocked upgrade, prevent them from upgrading to Windows 11. I was angry they upgrade when Windows 8, 10 to Windows 11. I just immediately roll it back. So let's just go into the wave to see what Windows 12 is going to be. Okay, whether Windows 12 is going to be good. I think it will. But that version of Windows is just to fix the Windows 11's issue, right? Right. If they're saying Windows 10 is the last version of Windows, why do they do this, right? Why do they do this? Windows 10 is massively successful, and they can just keep upgrading it. Don't waste our resources on Windows 11. But they're not saying, hey, Windows 11. I guess Windows 11 is probably the worst. Probably not the Windows 13. Even Windows 13 probably not be as worse as bad as Windows 11. So that's about the whole streaming, and I hope if you like it, you just go to Discord and tell me. I don't need your subscriber. So thank you. You love Windows 7? Okay, we can make another video on for best operating versions of Windows, right? Okay, we can do another streaming on for best Windows versions, but I'm talking about for worst right now. So yeah, we can talk about Windows 11 7 things later. Okay, so that's about streaming. Thank you.